Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Michael Watson, your host, and sitting to the left of me is the head women's basketball coach here at UIS, Chad Oletzke. Did I pronounce that right?
That's close enough.
All right.
It's a tough one.
Well, Coach, this is your first year here at UIS, and I just want to say, welcome to the campus and welcome to the athletic community here at UIS, and I hope the transition is going well.
Yeah, it's gone really well. It's good to be here, and it's good to have a basketball season underway.
You know, since you're a new coach here at UIS, a lot of people don't really know you that well so far, and I was wondering if you can maybe give the audience just a brief coaching experience prior to your stint here at UIS.
Sure. I've had a lot of experience kind of at a whole bunch of different levels, so it's I've been very fortunate that way. I started actually as a high school boys coach. When I was finished with my playing career, I kind of was trying to figure out, do I want to be a kind of a student assistant, or do I want to try to get a high school job? And I was lucky enough to land a high school job in kind of the local area while I was still going to school. So did that for a number of years, had a young team when I started, but was able to watch them grow and become seniors and end up winning championships there. And from there, I was actually lucky enough to go back and work for the women's coach at the school that I played at. I enjoyed watching his teams play. They played a motion style. He was always a good coach, and really fortunate to break into the college game right away. So that kind of started my college coaching career as an assistant. It was a Division II school, very similar to UIS. From there, I needed head coaching experience. I kind of realized that in order to move up the ranks in the college level. So I was lucky enough to land a junior college job in Wyoming. So I went out there for 5 years, was a head coach out there, and actually taught some classes and did some different things while I was there too. And then a position opened up at South Dakota State, which is a Division I school in Brookings, South Dakota. We played them. They were a rival school when I was at Southwest Minnesota State. They were a D2, which actually switched to the Division I level. But I was lucky enough to land an assistant position there. I spent the last 3 years there, and we were really successful there as well, and won a couple of championships and played in the NCAA tournament. And then this job presented itself, and here I am.
How was that experience in that NCAA tournament?
I was great. You know, we had kind of the short end of the stick, I guess you would say, on the women's side. They don't have kind of predetermined kind of things like they do on the men's side. So a lot of times people get to host their first 2 rounds. And both times that we made it in, all 3 times that we made it in, we ended up playing teams on their home floor in the first round. My first year we played Oklahoma, the year that they went to the Final Four. Lost to them by, I think it was 8 or something at their place, so that was quite the experience. And next year we played Xavier at Xavier, who at that time actually had 2 WNBA picks on their team, so they're a really good team. Lost to them by about a dozen on their home floor. And then last year we lost to Purdue. At Purdue, had a chance late in the game too. It was pretty close, but ended up losing by about 10 again. So it's kind of tough that you have to play a team on their home floor the first round of the NCAA tournament, but it certainly was an experience to play in that thing 3 years in a row. Now,
you know, being hired as a new coach here at UIS, what are some of the challenges, that you face being newly hired at a new institution like UIS?
I think just getting situated, trying to figure out where the heck do I make copies, where do I go to do this, where do I go to do that. So it's just been kind of a long run of new things ever since I got the job. First when I got here, you got to deal with just any new employee's got to do a lot of different things to kind of get set up. Then we have recruiting that hit right away in July, so I was out kind of doing that stuff. Then the different thing with my position and me specifically this summer was I got married. So at the end of July, I ended up having to kind of get all things situated with our wedding and getting our house settled in and moving my wife here and doing all those types of things. And we went on our honeymoon and came back and classes had already started. So it always felt like I was behind the 8 ball, and it kind of has seemed like every week has been something new. And I'm still trying to kind of get my feet wet. There's still some new things that keep popping up, but it's been quite the experience so far, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, congrats about the wedding, by the way.
Thank you.
And, looking at your team this year, can you just give me your overall thoughts of the, maybe the senior leadership present on your team right now?
We don't have a whole lot of seniors right now. We've only got one, so it's, Ashley's done a great job. She's been able to kind of adapt to some newness. She's kind of went through a lot of newness too, being a transfer, being a junior college transfer. So she's had a lot of newness with her. Basically her third kind of coaching staff in her college career. She was able to have some continuity between her freshman and sophomore year, but then when she left and came here actually under a new coach and now under a new coach, she's done a good job of adapting and trying to do the things that we've asked of her and being a good leader for our team and showing some senior leadership.
Now, is that a challenge as a head coach, not having, you know, I guess you can say a wide number of seniors on a team?
Yeah, I think any coach would want to have a number of seniors that have probably been in their program for a long time and know exactly what's going on. In my current situation, it's probably not quite as big of a hurdle, just because even if we had 10 seniors, they'd all be freshmen to me because they don't understand what we're trying to do as a team, what we're looking for, trying to get to know us as a staff. And all those different things are going to be changes for them anyway. So even if we had a lot of seniors on the team, they'd basically all be freshmen anyway.
If you had 3 words to sum up your coaching philosophy that you're trying to instill here at UIS, what would those 3 words be?
I think number one is just a hard work ethic and how important that is on what we're trying to really accomplish. That's kind of the biggest thing that we were probably known for at South Dakota State, where I came from, is we're just going to play hard. We're going to get after it. Every loose ball we're going to try to get. We're going to defend. We're going to try to do everything that we can to give us our best chance to win. So I think that's the biggest thing that we're trying to really instill in our program right now, is just a hard-working mentality. Just put your hard hat on and get after it. That's probably number one. Number two is probably just being a family. Really understanding that while I'm, really trying to play hard and get some things done, that if I slack for a second or two or whatever, I'm really hurting my teammate because that's who you're really trying to play for. And it's, there's been some coaches, specifically John Wooden, that has recently said at the top of his pyramid that he would have put love up there instead of competitive toughness and stuff. So we're just trying to show each other how important everybody is in our program. So that would probably be number two, is just family. And then number three is academics. I mean, that's the main reason that a lot of them are here, is to get an education. And I think this is a great place to do that. And our kids are certainly doing a good job in the classroom too.
Looking at this tough GLVC conference, I was just wondering, being placed within this conference now, what is your overall thoughts of the conference and the teams within it?
I haven't had a whole lot of a chance to really look at some of the teams in our league. When I first got the job, I was trying to track down some films. I got a couple of them, so I was able to watch some. But again, those teams are all going to change anyway. There's going to be some freshmen that come in. They're going to lose some seniors. There may be some coaching changes, some philosophy changes. So I didn't really put a whole lot of stake into it. It was more or less trying to get an overall impression of where our team sat in the league athletically, size-wise, some different things like that. And I thought we fit, pretty well in the league. I didn't think there was great advantages or disadvantages. I just thought we were right in the middle there, and there was just some things that our team was going to have to do that we were going to have to be better at as far as a program, and try to improve on those areas and keep moving forward. I do think it's a strong conference just from the history standpoint. Being in a Division II conference as a player and a coach coming up, we always heard of Drury and Northern Kentucky and some of those teams that consistently would be kind of ranked or you would hear about. So it certainly is a strong historical conference, and it's proud to be a part of it.
Looking at your matchup this Tuesday night, you'll be facing Robert Morris Springfield. And I was wondering if you could give us, your keys to a victory this Tuesday night.
Well, I think the biggest thing for us, and you just asked it with trying to instill 3 words, is we're still trying to focus on us right now. We certainly look at other opponents and try to figure out what they're trying to do and try to take some of those things away, but we just have to play better ourselves. And our biggest opponent right now is ourselves, and trying to realize what our competitive level really can be. And sometimes it's tough for a kid to really see that whole new level and try to play to that whole new level. And that's, I think, the thing that we're really trying to fight right now is every day in practice trying to compete at our highest level as an individual and to make our teammates better too. So that's probably the biggest thing that we're going to fight, is just ourselves trying to play to our optimal level. Obviously coming off of a couple of days break here for Thanksgiving, trying to get our players back and get back into the groove of thing is something that we're going to fight to. So those things are probably going to be as important as anything that Robert Morris can do. Not that Robert Morris is a team that we wouldn't overlook or anything like that. It's just any team that we play right now, our biggest opponent is ourselves, and trying to set a standard of play that we're trying to play to.
And you actually just touched base on my last question I was going to ask you, is these breaks, Thanksgiving break, and now we're going to have winter break coming up shortly. Is that a challenge for you as a head coach to keep your players fresh and keep your players motivated, throughout those breaks?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough. Kids are going to go home and have Thanksgiving, have Christmas and different things like that. There's obviously friends and family that they haven't seen for a while that they want to go do some things with. And, you try to stress to your kids how important it is to get a workout in there, get a couple of workouts in there depending on how long our break is. Get in the gym, shoot some shots. Work out a little bit, whether it's weights or running or something on your own, because 4 days can really, put you behind the 8 ball as far as conditioning goes. Some of the things mentally, as far as going through some of the stuff that we're doing, X's and O's, that's a little more difficult. You can go through some mental reps, but obviously you can't get in a gym and practice with our team, so nothing's going to beat that as far as coming back to campus and actually getting on the floor together and working together again.
Well, Coach, I just want to thank you very much for coming by and stopping by and just giving, some of your time, for this interview. And I wish you luck throughout the season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
For more information on the women's basketball team, you can always check out the athletics homepage at uisprairiestars.com. Up next, we have the men's head coach, Coach Ben Wersba.